I'm gonna try to make it as quick as possible because my phone is almost out of battery. Apparently, the police were trying to entrap me into a crime big enough for them to intervene, where they can either assault me. So this hasn't happened already before, right? This is not the first time this has happened. This has happened in York region, and they've already learned their lesson, and they think that they can just do this again. Now this time they don't care about the consequences because they say they don't really care if they go to prison or not. All they care about is actually hurting me, right? So this time they're trying to catch me in the act of either harassing somebody or being able to have somebody make a call to the police with evidence enough to say that they were suspecting me of some sort of wrongdoing, so they can come and tase me, or so they can actually come and assault me or seriously injure me to the point where I'd have to go to the hospital, right, mentally or physically, and I would be forced to put Preston into animal services, to which they would have to force me to pay. I would be forced to pay whatever sum of money they're asking. They're trying to extort money from me that way by saying that I can't bring my dog into the hospital and he has to stay at animal services. In order for me to get him out of animal services, I have to pay a significant amount of fee, right? As if he's done something wrong, right? That's how they were treating Preston. They don't know that he doesn't believe them because they think all dogs are stupid. It's ironic that their plans were really idiotic and they didn't know it was a crime. So now that they figured that out, they think it's unfair that I'm not a criminal because they think we're in on it. And in the case they know that we're not in on it, they want to imply that we were in on it. So that's another entrapment thing that they're trying to do. And initially the police weren't involved, but now they are implicated in this crime through it because they refuse to do their job. And for whatever reason, it's my fault because they weren't being stopped by me, because I'm also a police officer. That's what they're saying. I'm a police officer and I was supposed to stop them from doing those things. And I'm like,
the next station is Old Mill Station.
I didn't really understand why they were saying that, but I'm starting to suspect that they have gone completely bonkers. Like, they've gone psychotic and they think that like it's okay to target and harass people, right? And like somebody was trying to tell me, I don't know who it was, but they're saying, look, they're gonna try to do this again. This has happened before. You're not actually doing anything wrong, but they keep committing crimes because they owe people money, including you. And the reason why they're not going after the other guys is because they have other people that they know there, and it would impact them, but they think that it's not gonna impact them if they take their anger out on you, because number one, they're implying that you're a bitch, like you're just worth as much as a dog. And number two, they're saying that not only that, but there's no consequences to hurting innocent people. That's what they believe. And it doesn't really matter what the truth is. If they hurt you, then they hurt you, and if they extort money from you, they extort money from you. The best thing is to get out of that situation or leave, right? Which is what I'm doing. And they repeatedly try to, they think, this is how they think. They think if I'm scared, I'm going to make a mistake, I'm going to panic, and I'm going to do something stupid, because that's what they do. So they think everyone does what they do. This is apparently called a sting operation, where the entire goal of this entire schematic run by the police is to hurt somebody who they suspect is a criminal. That's it. They want to teach this person a lesson because they believe this person's a criminal, but there's no evidence for it, which means the person's not a criminal. That's literally what that means, but they don't want to believe that, so they want to hurt that person because they were wrong. So they set up this entire sting operation funded by a bunch of people who stole money from me and who's been using my identity to run a lot of scams in this country. Ironically, the government also hired these people, and they are also working for the government, who's running these scams with these scam people who don't work for the government, which is weird, but that's what they're doing. Yeah, they think I'm a dangerous criminal and I'm just gonna hurt people for no reason. Ironically, that's what they're doing. But that's what that sting operation means. They thought that I was gonna do something really bad and they were gonna have to come in and arrest me, and that all these repeated incidents of violence and negativity is gonna cause me to become schizophrenic, because that's how people develop schizophrenia. Or I'm gonna get very depressed and I'm gonna have to apply for ODSP, or it's gonna cause me to just hate myself and my life and I'm just gonna kill myself, which is actually technically considered homicide since there's evidence of their involvement. Or that I'm actually just gonna give up on my life and just accept the fact that nobody loves me and I'll never ever be able to move on with my life. That's what they believe. I don't know these people, but they did this because they got caught doing a crime, and they said there's no way to implicate the victim, which means I'm just innocent, which means there's no way they're not gonna get the full penalty. That's why they're doing this, because they're upset they're getting a full penalty for all of their crimes. There's no pardoning it because there's no way I was even involved or implied that I was involved, or there's absolutely nothing wrong with me. I didn't even pick a fight with them or anything. So because of it, that means they get full penalty, no pardons, no parole, no nothing.
The next station
And they've
is
been telling me
Runnymede-
that's what I'm going
Runnymede
through because they
Station.
can't accept it now. The dangerous part is that people who are projecting and going through this defense mechanisms, when they realize this, they go through this stage where they freak out and panic, right? And since they're already targeting me, they're gonna try to freak out and target me, and I don't want to be there when that happens. And unfortunately, I've moved from city to city, and they keep following me around. And I'm thinking maybe just like take a trip or something, just get out, just stay away. The problem is I can't actually stay away because they forced me out of a actual location where I am legally allowed to reside in, because they couldn't track me because it's illegal and they had no way to breaking into my apartment. So they forced me to be in a homeless shelter so they can surveil me, and then they forced me to walk in this public streets, to sleep on the streets, so they can surveil me even further, to try to get me some fines or convict me for a crime that I didn't even commit, which they're responsible for. And on top of which, they believe that I'm a criminal because of my race. They think all Korean people
The
are
next station is
criminals.
Hyde Park.
That's the most
Hyde
ironic
Park
thing I've ever
Station.
heard from a group of white British people. And honestly, I don't even know why they think this way, but that's what they believe. And they've been targeting me since I got to this country because this is a racial discrimination, and they don't understand that's what that is. They don't think they're racist, they think they're good people, and they think I'm the bad person, which is the psychotic part of this entire schematic. Right? They don't think that they're psychotic, they think I'm psychotic. Like, they think I'm the one that's going through psychosis, and I'm the one perpetuating the crimes that they're responsible for. Which is
Arriving at
the
Hyde
problem,
Park.
right? I'm like,
Hyde
I'm not
Park
actually
Station.
doing any of that, that's you, but they think it's me, they're projecting. Right? Because they are in denial and they refuse to admit what they've done, and they actually become, like, they go through regression to a point where they behave as if they are a child in order to get away and to appear innocent to people when they are confronted with what they've done. Right? And they start blaming other people, that's the projection part, for what they've done. Like, they're very irresponsible, and I don't really want to be there when they start freaking out, because it never ends well. And the problem is that they actually have been driving around in their cars, yelling at me from the streets, and this has been an ongoing issue since I got to this country, and apparently it's just specifically me. And I was wondering how come the neighbors didn't do anything, nobody actually said anything. I think the problem is that they left. The minute they saw that kind of stuff happening, I think they left the country. While they could, because they didn't want to be a target after realizing that they're just targeting an innocent individual. And that's when they started to get desperate and started stealing from me, when other people started leaving. And when they started to lose support. Which kind of is like a red flag for me.